What up? It's your girl Tiff B First, and I am here to talk to you about 3 reasons why you should stay at Bloasis during your next climbing trip in Font. Reason number 1, affordability. Now, hear me out. I am not a person who likes to sleep outside, but I'm also not a person who goes on climbing trips and stays in a hotel. And if you're coming to Font, you really need to come minimum 5 days. I would not. I don't care what time of the year it is, if it's summer, like I have decided to do, but in the past, I've come in the spring, I've come in the fall, and there's always a chance of rain. So I say give yourself a good 5 days. But here's the thing. You could camp. There are campsites. You can't camp in the actual climbing parking lots or the areas, but you can camp at designated sites. And it's probably going to be more affordable. But if you're like me and you don't like to sleep outside and you don't like the buggies, then you want to be inside. You also have options of hostels. Well, there's not a ton of hostels in Font, but you could stay in a hostel. For me, that's a little too close for comfort. I don't necessarily want to sleep in a room with a bunch of people. I'm a light sleeper. People snore. It's a problem. And then you have hotels. I am not paying for no hotel, and not for 5 days. Traditionally, you're going to pay, in my opinion, a higher rate when you're in Europe. And then you have more taxes, tourist tax and fees and all these other things. So I personally think Bloasis is kind of that good middle ground. It's kind of like a hostel, but not quite. You do have your own private room. There's about 6-ish private rooms, and then 4 of those rooms are kind of like a shared space. So you have 2 rooms that share 1 bathroom, 2 rooms that share 1 bathroom. And if you're lucky and you book in a good enough time, you can get one of the rooms with a private bath. Now, I did not get that, but that's because it wasn't available. But otherwise, that's what I would go for. And you're going to pay somewhere between 60 to 70 US dollars per day. Now, each of these rooms can hold 2 people. So if you split that 60 to 70 between 2 people, it's really not that bad. Not for having an enclosed space, not for having only to share a bathroom with maybe 2 or 3 other people, depending on who you come with and who the other room comes with. But I think it is the best bang for your buck for what you get. Also, just the location is really close to a grocery store, close to a gas station. So you can't really beat the price because you're going to have to rent a car. That's just the reality of Font. So I'm going to say affordability. If you budget well, that is going to be your best bet. Okay, reason number 2. One of the best things about staying at Bloasis is this unique ability to make connections. So again, you're staying in a house with about 6 bedrooms. There's a bonus room that may or may not become kind of an accessible room, but you have this central gathering space, and you know people who are staying here are likely climbers. You're gonna get climbers from all over Europe, climbers from the States and beyond. And so if you're a social butterfly or if you're someone who likes to connect with people, it is very easy to come here either as a solo traveler or as a group and make connections with folks. So if you do kind of like that hostel style of being able to meet people, to connect with people, you get that, but then again, you still get the creature comforts of being in your own space when you want to be in your own space. Another valuable element of connecting is the fact that you're staying at a place that is owned by a climber, someone who climbs probably 2-3 days a week in Font. So if you're looking for some beta on what areas to go to, what areas dry faster, what areas are cooler in the summertime, what areas have the style of climbing you're looking for. If you're trying to be slab-a-dab-dab, or if you want to do some powerful overhang like myself, or if you're really new and you just want to go to something that's easy and not super intimidating, you have someone you can talk to get that information. Yes, the internet is there, but there's nothing like talking to someone who is based here locally, who climbs here regularly, who really understands the area. And last, but most certainly not least, the biggest benefit of staying at Bloasis is its proximity to so much climbing. Now, we all know there are thousands and thousands and thousands of routes in Fontainebleau, but you are within like 10 to 15 minutes of so much climbing. And if you want to go out a little bit, you can go 20 to 25 minutes to some really cool, chill, interesting, unique climbing. So you have so many different options that it's just a really perfectly positioned location. The other thing that's kind of funny out here, if you have ever been to Font, is the driving. And I like the fact that it's so close to crags, because I don't love driving in Font. You know, you got roundabouts, you got these little swervy, I gotta wait over here while you get into the lane. It's a weird thing. So people hate me. The drivers hate me. They honk. I don't drive fast enough. I don't know when it's my turn to go and when it's their turn to go. So not knowing that you don't have to drive a ton to get to a lot of climbing, personally for me, is really nice. So Bloasis is located fairly closely to, really right along the border of the Trois Pignons area. And if you know anything about Trois Pignons, it's like one of the most dense amount of areas for boulders. So you're going to get a lot of different climbing sections within that whole section. And again, we're talking max 15-minute drive. So that for me is a huge, huge bonus. Speaking of bonus, a little bonus benefit, if you're someone who likes to travel eco-consciously, you care about the environment, one of the things that really drew me to this place is its eco-consciousness. So just the building materials that they've used, you'll notice the exterior blinds that they have, and they just made this space with the care for the environment. You also have a electric car charger right out front, and it is really easy to rent an electric car in France. Now, I'm always nervous to rent an electric car because I didn't know if I would have a place to charge it. But if the place where you're staying has an electric charger, it's a no-brainer. Those are the reasons why I think you must stay at Bloasis during your next trip to Font. If you do come here, tell Fabian I sent you, and let me know in the comments how you enjoyed your trip. And as always, if you come to Font, please, please, please respect the crag. Check the link to learn all about the ethics of climbing in Fontainebleau so we can protect my favorite climbing area in the world. All right, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.